Executive Officer, Flutter Waves. You're welcome, sir. Our external members of council, Professor Duku, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, Professor Rosemary Udozo, Professor Dr. Uju, and Professor Laofe here present. Special recognition for the Pro-Chancellor in our midst, Professor Ignatius Onimawo. Pro-Chancellor, you are welcome. And the Chairman of the ICPC Academy, you are also welcome. Very distinguished deans, professors, directors of centers and institutes, heads of departments, our very dear students, the chairperson of the University of Abuja Women's, patron of the University of Abuja Women's Association, our very dear students, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you all to the convocation lecture today as part of activities marking the week-long activities for the 29th and 30th combined convocation ceremony of the University of Abuja. I want to inform you that we have a speaker today who I'm sure will all be interested in listening to. We chose him because of his personality and the wealth of experience and industry which he is well known for. I am sure that all the young people here are aware of Flutter Wave, and everybody wants to be like this gentleman that will give you the lecture when we grow up tomorrow, the way we say it. So he's going to give us a lecture titled Graduating into an Artificial Intelligence-Powered FinTech World. What are the opportunities, the challenges, and the responsibilities? Because he wants us to know that the world has gone digital. Artificial intelligence is a contemporary issue. It is with us. We cannot wish it away. And therefore, what are the challenges? What are the opportunities in a FinTech industry? So on that note, I want to welcome you all and assure you that it will be an afternoon well spent to sit, pay attention, and enjoy the lecture for today. Welcome. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, our Vice Chancellor, for that brief and insightful remark. I will urge you to give him a more resounding round of applause. At this juncture, we're going to have a performance by the Department of Theater Arts. It's called Drum Ensemble. Let's watch and get excited. Thank you so much. A round of applause for them. Thank you. Very exciting dance. Very exciting dance. Thank you so much. Well done. Very beautiful presentation. Wow, what a great performance. Thank you so much. Wow, I think they would like to go out now. Beautiful performance. Thank you. Please, a round of applause for them. Wow. Great performance. Well done, well done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well done. Beautiful performance. Yes, yes. Wow, wow, wow. Let's keep applauding them as they go out. Thank you so much. Wow, that was a very exciting performance from the Department of Theatre Arts of our great university. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed, let me quickly recognize the presence of some of our other dignitaries and personalities who are here with us. I would like to recognize the presence of the Pro-Chancellor of the Federal University of Technology, Barbara Jigawa State, Professor Ignatius Onimawo. The Senior Vice President of Flutterwave is also here. Please let's welcome Fumi Olani. Oh, and the amiable wife of our Vice Chancellor is here. She's been sitting very quietly. Dr. Hadiza Fawemi, the patroness of the University of Abuja Women Association. Thank you so much, bro. And then we have another member of council, another distinguished one for that matter, Professor Sunday Peter Ejaro. A round of applause, please. And then you have the former senior special assistant to the acting Vice Chancellor on academic, Professor Rhoda Mundi. Please, a round of applause, please. You have the registrar of our great university, Malam Mohamed Sambo. He's the acting registrar and secretary to council. We have one of our distinguished members who has joined another organization, but is still working very well with us. Please let's welcome, and is representing the Honorable Chairman of the ICPC. Please let's welcome Professor Sherif Gali Ibrahim. He is actually the provost of the Anti-Corruption Academy of Nigeria. Would like to also especially welcome the chairman of the Convocation Ceremony of our university, Professor Lanre Aladeita. And the Dean of the Faculty of Law, who has been so wonderful in providing this space for us since we started this program. Please let's recognize especially Professor Celestin Abugu. Several directors here, but as time goes on, as I said, we'll be recognizing your presence. We all respect you. The director of the Academic Planning Unit is also here, Professor Otaki Alanana. The university orator is also here, Dr. Agoma Awaritoma. We also have the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor Mohamed Umar Ndagi. The former Senior Special Assistant to the former Acting Vice Chancellor on Research, Professor Abdul Buba Ardo. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I would like to stress again that we'll continue to recognize your presence as time permits. In the meantime, we shall be calling on some individuals for the goodwill messages. Let me now invite Professor Ignatius Onimao for his goodwill message. Please, a round of applause for him, please.
The Pro-Chancellor and Chairman Governing Council of University of Abuja, now Yakubu Gowon University, the other members of council, my wonderful Vice Chancellor and his team. I decided to come because your Pro-Chancellor is not just a fellow Pro-Chancellor, he's a personal friend. And when I knew you were going to be around, I decided to come. I bring you greetings from Federal University of Technology, Barbara in Jigawa State. We are a younger university. We are just 4 years and some months old. Our convocation is going to take place later this year. That will be the first convocation. So I've come to see how those of you who are very old are doing your own. Even though I had some experiences before when I was a vice chancellor in those days, but things are changing. So I bring greetings from Barbara to University of Abuja. I want to say that I'm going to learn a lot from the key speaker. I've heard of him before. I think I saw him somewhere before, where he was delivering lecture of this nature. So I want to really learn from him again. You know, learning is a continuous exercise. So I want to thank the administration for allowing me to even say these words. I want to say a very big thank you, and I wish you a very successful convocation ceremony. I hope to be here on Saturday for the final ceremony when they are going to do the awards of degree, postgraduate degrees and other awards. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Let's appreciate Professor Ignatius once again. We would also like to invite the Senior Vice President of Flutterwave for a goodwill message. Yes, before I hand over the microphone to her, the Vice Chancellor, the Pro-Chancellor has directed me to specially and warmly appreciate her for making it possible to have this very august lecturer with us today. Please, let's appreciate her. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol duly observed. To my senator, to my boss, and to the vice chancellor, everyone seated on the I table, and to my dear colleagues. Good afternoon, my fellow students, and good afternoon to all the lecturers and dignitaries seated here. This is quite impromptu, but I just want to join words with the people that have spoken on this podium to say congratulations to the newly to the students that just did their convocation, and I really wish the school the best. We're here to speak to you as mentors of people that have gone through what you are going through today, and to tell you that the grass is really greener on the other side. Don't believe what they tell you about the negative. If you put in the hard work, you will definitely get the results that you desire for you to prosper. I like the presentation that happened today, and I know a lot of things that are happening right here in the university. All I want to say is we started from the university and we're where we are today because we were determined, we put in a lot of resilience, and today we can smile and talk to you today about a lot of achievements that we have gained. And I want to wish you all the best and wish the school the very best. Thank you very much for inviting me here, and I wish you all the best.
Well, thank you so much. Please, let's appreciate her once again in a very strong manner. How? I think we are making progress, and we should appreciate that. Let me quickly recognize the presence of another council member, the Dean of Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, Professor Simon N.M. Ikechukwu, and the Provost of the College of Health Sciences has just joined us. Please, let's welcome Professor Titus Ibekwe. Without further ado, we would like to invite for the citation of our guest lecturer and Chief Executive Officer of Flutterwave, Mr. OLUGBENGA AGBOOLA. We would like to invite the university orator, Professor Waritoma. I know that this name, it will take time before we are able to come to terms with it. You will let us have the name more specially as usual now. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, distinguished dignitaries here present, all of our excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be reading the citation for our esteemed lecturer today. And I want to ask him to stand. Please, sir. Thank you. OLUGBENGA GB AGBOOLA is a visionary technology leader, institution builder, and the founder and CEO of Flutterwave, Africa's leading payments technology company. With over 2 decades of experience spanning Africa, Europe, and the United States, GB has built and governed mission-critical systems that power digital commerce, financial inclusion, and cross-border trade at scale. A seasoned software engineer and serial entrepreneur with multiple exits, including the acquisition of his venture pay with capture by a leading Nigerian bank, GB's career is defined by a sustained focus on enterprise payment infrastructure. His journey is grounded in senior engineering and product leadership roles at global institutions such as PayPal, Google, Standard Bank, and Access Bank, where he developed deep expertise in designing secure, complaint platforms for millions of users. Today, that foundation underpins his work at Flutterwave, where he is connecting Africa to the global economy through reliable, interoperable financial infrastructure. As a major contributor to Africa's modern fintech ecosystem, GB transformed Flutterwave into the continent's most critical payments infrastructure company. Under his leadership, Flutterwave pioneered one of the first truly Pan-African payment APIs, enabling businesses to integrate once and transact across multiple African countries. GB aggressively deepened the company's regulatory footprint beyond the US and Europe, securing key payments provider license in Ghana, Egypt, Malawi, Rwanda, Cameroon, and Senegal. To ensure institutional reliability at this scale, GB prioritized enterprise-grade security, leading the company to obtain ISO 27001, 27701, and 22301 certifications. This standard of innovation led Flutterwave to achieve unicorn status in 5 years, an evaluation of over $3 billion following a $250 million Series D in 2022. By processing over 1 billion unique cross-border transactions, representing more than $40 billion in total payment volume, Flutterwave has become the payments backbone for global and Pan-African businesses such as Uber and Airpeace in Africa. In 2024, Flutterwave was ranked number 1 on Fast Company Most Innovative Companies in EMEA and earned a place on the publication's Brand That Matter list. GB's approach to strengthening Africa's place in the world through advocacy and innovation has steered Flutterwave's efforts to enable over $2 billion in trade transactions between the African-Asia corridor in 2025. The central pillar of GB's vision is to bridge Africa and its global diaspora is Send App by Flutterwave. Under his direction, the platform expanded to 49 US states and key corridors across the UK and Europe. By securing 34 direct US money transmitter licenses, GB enabled Send App to operate seamlessly with 98% of transactions in 2024 completed in under 5 minutes. He brokered Send App's strategic partnership with Nuvion, which helped the remittance brand re-enter the UA, EU, and US markets after earlier setbacks. Nuvion also enables Flutterwave with outbound payment capabilities and regulatory coverage from Africa to the US, UK, EU, UAE, Hong Kong, Canada, and Bahrain, making Flutterwave the only African payments brand with a combination of inbound and outbound payments capabilities. GB is actively embedding the brand into the fabric of African life to support talent and small businesses. He championed the digitization of thousands of MSMEs through Flutterwave Store during the pandemic, with the Keeping the Lights On campaign, which was recognized by Time 100 the following year. Under his direction, Flutterwave leveraged sponsorship for Big Brother Niger, Big Brother Titans, and 2 major trade fairs to spotlight SMEs in Nigeria, helping them recover from the devastation that they faced during the pandemic. As a prolific investor and mentor, GB supports the next generation of high-growth founders through Resilience 17, R17, his venture studio and early-stage investment platform. R07 backs a portfolio of over 70 companies globally, including Vestai, Clasher, Lemfi, and Bamboo, with a focus on fintech and digital identity. His investment acumen was recognized when he was named Tech Investor of the Year by Business Insider Africa in 2022, and further validated by the successful acquisition of one of his portfolio companies, Brass, in 2024. GB extended his work into frontier technology by launching Go Times AI, Nigeria's first dedicated AI accelerator, providing funding and compute infrastructure for global South founders building the next generation of AI solutions. His investment interests extend beyond fintech with portfolio diversification that includes Lagoon Hospital, a leading multi-specialist hospital group, and a pioneer in advanced medical care and clinical excellence in Nigeria, and Nairobi City Thunder Basketball Club, a 2-time national champion. As senior entrepreneur in residence at Africa FinTech Foundry, he mentored and guided early-stage fintech ventures, helping shape product strategy and ecosystem architecture within Nigeria's emerging innovation and landscape. GB operates at the intersection of global trade, technology, policy, and institutional governance, positioning him as a key architect of the African Global Commercial and Trade Corridor. As vice chair of the U.S. African Business Center, he supports the strengthening of investment ties between the United States and African markets. His role on the board of the Corporate Council in Africa allows him to contribute to policy-aligned trade dialogue between African governments and global cooperations. His membership in the Wall Street Journal CEO Council, the Milken Institute African Business Leaders Council, and the Fast Company Impact Council ensures that African innovation is represented in high-level global economy discourse. GB also serves as a steward of the global African narrative through his roles on the advisory boards of the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture, and the National Museum of African Art. His board roles at Lagoon Hospitals and Endeavor reflect his broader cross-sector influence in supporting healthcare infrastructure. JB's participation in Young Africans Leaders Initiative, YALI, in Washington, D.C. from 2014 to 2015 solidified his standing as a rising voice in global leadership. YALI is the U.S. government's signature effort to invest in the next generation of African leaders, focusing on professional development in areas such as business, public management, and civic engagement. His selection for this prestigious program reflects his early recognition as a key figure poised to contribute significantly to Africa's development and global commercial engagement. Before Flutterwave, GB honed his skills across global technology companies and top-tier African banking institutions. At Guarantee Trust Bank, PLC, his first foray into banking in 2005, he developed enterprise infrastructure solutions to enable Africa's growing business to transact across borders. He specialized in deploying core banking systems that met stringent international security and compliance standards, providing the technological backbone necessary for seamless cross-border transactions. His ability to build scalable, user-centered platforms was later demonstrated at Standard Bank, Stanbic IBTC, from 2009 to 2014, where he served as technology e-business product developer and project manager, working on digital banking and payment solutions that enabled enterprise clients to pay multiple vendors and staff across various African countries. During this time, he observed how difficult it was for banks under the same brand to send money to each other, which shaped his ambition to solve cross-border payment fragmentation. At Sterling Bank, where he later served as head of mobile financial services, he oversaw the expansion of mobile-led products that deepened financial inclusion. As head of Digital Factory and Innovation Access Bank from 2014 to 2016, he led the development of enterprise digital banking platforms during a critical period of adoption, helping modernize legacy systems for one of Africa's largest financial institutions. Before founding Flutterwave, GB played a central role in modernizing Nigeria's banking sector, first models. His expertise is further grounded in early international roles at some of the world's most critical technology institutions, giving him a unique vantage point on global compliance and security standards. At PayPal in 2004, he worked as an application engineer, contributing to the system's architecture, gaining direct exposure to work as a business entrepreneur at the Royal Bank of Scotland from 2018 to date, where he worked. And his time at British Telecom Professional Services in 2003 equipped him with critical expertise in regulated financial environments and enterprise systems that later informed his approach to building secure global payments infrastructure. This technical depth is evidenced by his status as a named inventor on multiple technology patents, including innovations in data encryption and QR code-based payment systems. Before all these, GB was just like every other young startup builder with grit, belief, and resilience when he founded and exited Quick Fix NT in 2003. JB's academic journey reflects at the University of Westminster in project management and advanced computing, with specialized research in projects in controlled place, technology execution. He went on to complete the management program at the Wharton School in 2015, followed by the strategic marketing program at Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management in 2017. GB obtained an MSc in IT Security Science from EC Council University, achieving multiple global recognized industry certifications, ESSA, and Licensed Penetration Tester, LPT. He also attended MIT Sloan School of Management for further education in technology, operations, and value chain management. Most recently, he completed the Advanced Management Program at Columbia Business School from January 2022 to March 2023, earning an AMP while actively participating in the school's fencing community. JB's contribution to national development and technology on the global stage have earned him Nigeria's national honor, Officer of the Order of the Niger, OON, as well as inclusion on Fortune's 40 Under 40 and the Time 100 Next list. When he's not creating endless possibilities through payments, you may find GB reading a book, supporting Arsenal Football Club, training for a marathon, or following up with the world of Formula One. Your Excellencies, eminent professors, scholars and academics here present, amiable staff, and outstanding students of the University of Abuja, gentlemen of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation, join me in welcoming to the microphone a visionary technologist, institution builder, a seasoned software engineer, a serial entrepreneur, and financial expert, Mr. OLUGBENGA GB AGBOOLA, founder and CEO of Flutterwave Africa, OON. You're welcome, sir.
It's a profound honor to be here today. I'm really honored to be in your presence on this afternoon. And I was very happy that Arsenal won yesterday. So this gives me a lot of memories, to be very honest. Returning to a university carries real nostalgia, real flashbacks, right? Places like this, classrooms, libraries, late night, it shaped who I am today as a person. And that's where it all started. So I'm proud to be here today. My sincere appreciation to the Pro-Chancellor, the Vice-Chancellor, the governing board of this amazing, great university. Every investor meeting I've had in the last 20 years, every boardroom conversation that I have had, right, I can trace them back to the intellectual discipline I earned when I was in the university, right? I recall, multiple lectures. I recall, doing marathon studying before a test or before a major exam. I recall tracking my CGPA, because I'm like, to get a particular scholarship, I must be at a particular CGPA, so I have to keep on tracking, And when I look at you guys here today, right, what I see, frankly, is the beginning. Like my colleague said, it's the beginning, right, of the most consequential chapter of your life. Let me say it again. This is not the ending of an era. It's the beginning of the most consequential chapter of your life. The world you are entering into, unfortunately and fortunately, is not the same world your parents left. In fact, it's not the same world that I navigated, frankly. The world has changed in so many ways that it's almost unbelievable. If you compare the world before 2020, for example, and now, you can't, it's incomparable on so many levels. To make it worse, it's now a world whereby generative AI is now redefining how everything is done. Literally everything. Everything is now Gen AI dependent. And there's nowhere else you will see that more than where? Education, banking, technology, and fintech. It is the beginning of a new wave and a new shift. And I think you guys are very, very lucky, to be very frank, that you are leaving school now, that you are graduating in this time. The type of work, the type of infrastructure that is available to you is so fundamentally different from what has been possible in the world before now. Like so different. AI, Gen AI, is not one thing. You can't say this is Gen AI. It's not one thing. Rather, it's an umbrella of so many things. And that's a very key thing to think about when you think about Gen AI. It's computer vision, machine learning, repetitive infrastructure, everything, deep learning, everything is in Gen AI. And that changes the way the world is defined and seen today and going forward. And that is, in my opinion, right, the proof that where you are going is so fundamentally never the same as where we were coming from. When I was getting into university, if I recall correctly, the most interesting profession to be were either engineering, medicine, law, those were the prestigious courses to go and study back then. But things have changed so fundamentally because guess what? We're in a world whereby you can be a YouTuber and be very successful. Right? You can literally be anything you want to be. And I'll give you a viewpoint of my own industry on how this has changed over the last 10 years and whatnot. Gen AI systems are built by human beings, people like you and I. They are the ones that are the brains behind artificial intelligence. And the fortunate thing and unfortunate thing about Gen AI is the fact that, like any other thing that humans build or create, we do so with what? Our inherent biases, our context. These things shape what we build and how we build them. And that, in my opinion, is also the opportunity, right? As of March 2026, around 18% of Nigerians, by the data that we've saw, are not banked. So think about it for a second. Like 30 million Nigerians, if my data serves me right, are not banked right now. They do not have bank account. They don't use the banking infrastructure. They don't go to the banking hall. They don't send money. And if they do so through informal ways. But AI is changing that. But guess what? Mobile data is now available to most people across the world. You can get access to literally the easiest way to transact because of what? Telecom infrastructure that has scaled, mobile telephony that is growing at a remarkable rate across the country right now. And you see that this is not just a marginal improvement. It is actually a transformation of the structural foundation that govern a lot of things that we do. And you will see it when I land very soon. The central bank told us in our industry in March of this year that all banks and financial technology companies, or PSPs or whatnot, should deploy artificial intelligence-led monitoring systems for money laundering infrastructure. That was the first time we would get that. Now, the whole idea has always been that regulators are always behind innovators, right? However, When a central bank is telling you that in 2026, that gives you a view of where the world is when it comes to the implementation of Gen AI across so many sectors in the banking industry today. AI can monitor transactions without any limit in real time. The things that you will hire maybe 100 humans to do, one AI agent can do it in microseconds. What does that mean for our future right now, for your future as a graduating student today? This means that the way you would think of opportunities cannot be the same way I thought of it in 20 whatever year I graduated. That is so key. Because guess what? The industries they have changed. And those that have not changed yet, you just don't know, they are already changing. And that shows you exactly how the transformative power of this technology will look like over the next couple of years, and starting now. Savings products, how you spend money, robo-advisors, these things are now available. We have companies like Piggyverse, Bamboo, you probably know them, who have built infrastructure that makes these things simple to use. But guess what? They are all using AI in their systems. And that gives you a view into what would it look like if you were to look for a job today. Would you just say, oh, I'm a first-class graduate of University of Abuja will be enough? It will go a long way, but now you need more. A lot more. And Gen AI, with the fact that humans are building this infrastructure, it means that we can actually be the forerunner in what I call African Gen AI. The peculiarity of our needs as a country, as a continent, is not the same as anywhere else in the world today. In 2016, I saw that, and that was why we built FlutterWave. Because we felt that money movement should not be so cumbersome that if you were sending money from Nigeria to Kenya or to Ghana, why should that money fly to America and fly back to Ghana? It